Jed, one thing I was thinking about, we always pay attention to whenever we get these winter storms, is the rain that comes in before can sometimes wash some of that pre-treatment off the overpasses. What are we looking like today?
Yeah, this is going to be a very wet storm. You know, the beats from what they were saying yesterday, it's for when it gets really, really cold. That can help allow the solution they put down that actually treats the roads. The beats actually allows that to get even colder. So this is not going to be a very cold system. It's cold aloft, but our daytime temperatures, we talked about this last couple of days, will not drop much below 32, if at all. We'll probably stay above freezing most of the day today. So the snow is going to fall into surface temperatures that are above freezing. What that means melting. So this fortunately shouldn't be a really bad system much of the day today, but tonight temperature will bottom out around 32. That snow probably at its heaviest, and that should allow us to probably get some travel problems going into the evening and overnight tonight. So if you're expecting to wake up this morning to have problems, this is not the case. We're having a little bit of rain on the front edge of this storm system. There's the low down moving into far south Texas. Areas of rain, some thunderstorms into Texas. But for us, we've got rain and, again, big batch of snow. That's that batch of snow we were talking about yesterday that's going to roll right up across Oklahoma and provide the opportunity for some snowfall. So as we zoom it in here, this is a look at Next Gen Live. We get this on minute-by-minute scan. You can see some areas of rain have moved into western southwest Oklahoma. You see the snow line there down to far southwest Oklahoma, and that's where we have Marty Logan right now. We'll check in with Marty here in just a little bit as the snow is beginning to fall now in southwest parts of Oklahoma, and that's going to keep working its way up into the state here coming up for today. So here's your travel timeline for Oklahoma City. Really, as I mentioned, morning conditions don't look that bad. There may be a little snow falling, but as far as the roads are concerned, they should be mainly wet. I don't see any major issues here out the door this morning. As we go into this afternoon, it should change over to all snow. Temperatures will probably hover between about 32 and about 35, so it's going to be just a wet snow. So that will allow the roads to stay either wet or may get some slushy areas if that snow is able to get a little bit heavier. The heavier snow is expected here between 6 and 10 o'clock tonight, and that's when our roads should get at their worst conditions. And then it comes to an end overnight tonight. We'll probably see some lingering snow showers or flurries after midnight, but much of it will be done after 10 o'clock, and that will allow for some slick roads, and eventually some melting is expected after sunrise here coming up for today. So winter precip chances here this morning. We've got a little bit around, not a whole lot. Better chance will develop after 6 p.m. After 6, those will shoot up to 100% by 9 o'clock, and we'll have a little snow mix in there. Snow will be likely from about lunchtime on to about midnight, and that chance drops off here for Oklahoma City. Again, should start as rain, maybe a little bit of a snow mixed in there. That changes over to some wet snow with a little rain mixed in, and then changes over to all snow most of your afternoon. Again, there might be a little thunderclap or two coming out of this, and you get that. That's that thunder snow. That's convective snow, and that's where those areas will have the heaviest snowfall here in the state. So we've got that winter advisory that'll take us through today into tonight, and with that, wet to slushy roadways are expected. Some snow-packed roads expected as well. Again, it's how cold will we be? Again, 32 to 35 will make it difficult to allow those roads to stay snowpacked because just the warming of the ground will help melt those conditions today. But if the snow is heavy enough, we could have some problems in some areas. We'll monitor that as we go through Wednesday morning. As we look at your school closings, that's a possibility. And right now, maybe some tree limbs falling due to some heavy snowfall. This is going to be a real heavy laden, wet snow. And so it gets in those branches, and especially your weaker pine or soft tree type branches, those can snap and those can cause some problems. So we'll monitor that. I think that most areas will have about 3 inches of snowfall, probably a little less in some spots, a little bit more in others, maybe as much as 6 inches. And there'll be some pockets of some heavier snowfall in southwest and southern into southeast Oklahoma, where up to 8 inches of snow will be possible. Now, if this storm was about 28 to 32, the numbers would be higher. Okay, this would be a much worse situation. So fortunately, because of the daytime highs being much warmer when a lot of that snow will be falling, that should limit our totals. Now, the snow will fall and it's going to melt, so to get up to those numbers is going to be difficult here, and you can see the road conditions by tonight. Should be at the worst, with the worst conditions across much of central, parts of northern, much of southern Oklahoma. We'll have slushy to snow-packed roads, and then we'll be monitoring some school closings. That's a possibility today in west Oklahoma. As we go into tonight into Wednesday, much of central into east parts of Oklahoma will have opportunities to have some school closings today or tomorrow, and that does include many of the metro area schools. So possible power outages, also possible. Talked about that heavy laden snow getting on power lines or getting on tree limbs and coming across power lines. That could create a few power disruptions. We'll monitor that. Right now that threat is low. Okay, 39 right now. East winds at 8 miles per hour puts the wind chill at 33. So we're 39. So any precip falling into 39 is going to be rain. Any snow is going to melt very quickly. A little precip is showing around the radar right now. NextGen is showing a little precip, but right now for the metro, most spots are dry. 35 to close to 40 starting off this morning. Here's future NextGen. We'll show that to you once again as that snow moves in by lunchtime. By 6 o'clock, you see some areas of some moderate to heavy snow from central into south and east Oklahoma. And then gradually that moves on out overnight tonight, and by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, most spots are looking good. So for Oklahoma City, we'll start in the 30s. We'll stay in the 30s, right around or just above 32. If we can hold there, shouldn't have any major issues much of the day today until late today as temperatures start to drop off into the low 30s. And as you look at that 9-day forecast, we'll drop it to the upper 20s to into 30s. So when that snow falls tonight, we'll have an opportunity to have a few more slick spots on the roads tomorrow morning, so we'll monitor that into your early Wednesday. Back up above freezing for your Wednesday, then a thawing, refreezing process. So some black ice is going to be possible Wednesday night, Thursday night, into Friday night before we warm it up some more on into Saturday, 57. We're tracking a big Arctic surge in here by early next week, dropping to 27 by Sunday.